Hey you, thanks for joining me on my discomfort journey. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about why I don't wear makeup anymore. This is not to say that I think makeup is bad or that I think that you should not wear makeup. I just like to sometimes reevaluate things and what benefit or cost that they bring to my life. So I thought it would be kind of fun to share. Truthfully, I do feel a little uncomfortable sharing this, in part, I think, because I don't like to draw attention to my face in that way, but also because a part of me feels like this is not really worthy making a video about. It really shouldn't be that interesting. It really shouldn't matter. But I feel like we're also in a time where it could be beneficial to have these conversations. I think we are getting so many images of people, ads and TV, everywhere we're looking on social media, there's all these made up faces. And while yes, there are some people who are posting pictures of themselves without makeup, or celebrities who are trying to just kind of come out publicly without wearing makeup. But I feel like there still is this weird relationship that we have with makeup where we still do have news headlines talking about, oh, this person not wearing makeup and how they look. That really just should not be interesting or important to us. So I think we still have a ways to go in terms of our relationships to makeup and how we talk about other people's faces and how we talk about our own faces. So this is just my attempt at taking a step into that realm and trying to have a bit of a discussion about it, and I guess say that it's not totally insane to just say no to wearing makeup, and that there are some valid reasons. I think my reasons are valid, and you may have absolutely no reasons why you don't want to wear makeup. You may have some, you may have a little bit of pros and a little bit of cons, and in your opinion it is better to wear makeup. That's totally fine. I just think it's good to talk about and reevaluate why we do things sometimes. So I've got three main reasons why I no longer wear makeup. This isn't an extensive list, and I've broken these three reasons down into kind of some sub reasons within that. So reason number one that I have under cost is money. So obviously makeup does cost money, and it can add up just even when you're buying kind of the cheaper stuff, depending on how many things you're putting on your face. There's also the replacement cost, right? So if you run out of things, you have to pay to replace them. And then there's also the things that you should be replacing maybe before you even run out of them, if they've just kind of gotten to that point, the 3 to 6 month mark after using eye makeup. Really, for the health of our eyes, we should be changing those out. So those do add up in cost. I find it kind of messed up that on average, with women making less than men, there's just this higher pressure for us spending money on things like skincare, hair care, and makeup. If those things all bring you joy and you get benefit from them, fantastic. But if not, screw that standard. That seems really unfair. Number two under cost is time. So it can take time to apply and it can take time to remove makeup. So honestly, in the mornings, I have other things that I would rather be doing, and I'm honestly struggling just to get out the door normally. And if I did have a little bit of extra time, I would rather use it to do something like reading or going for a walk, doing some sort of other movement in the morning, or even doing a Sudoku, just things that bring me more joy in the morning than rushing to put on makeup and then messing something up and having to try and fix it and then trying to rush out the door and still have all the things that I need. So it just time in the morning that I don't want to delegate to putting on makeup. Also under time, I've got the time to remove it. So it does take time to remove makeup when you're done with it. Ideally, we should be removing it before we go to bed, at the very least. So that whole process to me is just annoying. And when I did wear makeup, I was really, really bad at actually taking the time and effort to do that. So I've probably fallen asleep with way more makeup on than I should have. So yeah, just it's another time thing, right? Cost sub reason number 3 that I have is cognitive. So I do think that there is some cognitive load to wearing makeup. I think that you kind of have to be both aware of it and not so aware of it that it distracts you. Where like I do find it sometimes very distracting. And then I also feel like it is something that I have to be aware of what I'm doing a lot more, just like for how it's going to make my face look. So if I'm out in the rain, or if I'm exercising, or if I'm crying, or if I'm eating, like those things can all be affecting how things look. Not to mention time too, right? Like as time passes, you kind of want to like check in on your face. I just don't like to be thinking about that often. I don't like to have that much reason to be looking in a mirror just at random points in the day. I'm pretty clumsy and I tend to get things on my face without intending to or without realizing it. So I just feel like I have extra possibility of things getting kind of messy looking, and as much as I love the look of makeup, I do not love the look of smudgied makeup, and that's just something that I feel like almost sometimes looks worse than not wearing makeup, but that's just me. Number 4 under cost is environmental. So I find that there is the replacement frequency that causes you to need to throw things out. Plus there's like, if you're trying other things, if you want to try new looks or new products and they don't work for you, then sometimes you don't end up using them up or you can't give them away. So those things they do end up sometimes just becoming waste. And if I really don't need it, and I'm finding that I'm throwing it out more often than I'm using it all up, then I feel like it's kind of worth reevaluating if it's worth me kind of continuing with, if that makes sense. So my second main reason why I no longer wear makeup is comparison. And I've divided that into comparison kind of for myself and then also comparison for others. Comparison of myself, I don't like to think of my face as a before, or that my face needs to be kind of improved upon in order to be acceptable or presentable. Like for me, that's just not a very healthy way of talking to myself. I don't do very well with like a better face and like just certain language that I can sometimes find it's easier to use when there's that constant like thing of, oh, I should be using this because this will make my face look less like this. So for me, that kind of language just like isn't very healthy for me, and it doesn't really benefit me very much. So under comparison for others, basically I found that I just didn't like the comparison that people would have of my made-up face to my non-made-up face, because I found that kind of in turn led to more comments about how my non-made-up face looks. So if I was like wearing makeup and then I didn't wear makeup for a day or something, then you get more comments on like, you look tired or you look sick. And it's not because you look bad necessarily, but it's just because like we have that comparison of what this person's face looks like with makeup, and then people don't always kind of recognize that, oh, it's just a natural face without makeup. And I think it's pretty normal for that reaction to kind of happen, but I just kind of hate it. And I do find that I get less of that when I'm just not wearing makeup. So reason number 3 is sensitivities. So sensitivities in terms of eye sensitivity smell sensitivity, skin sensitivity, and cognitive sensitivity. So I did find that sometimes makeup would just really aggravate my eyes. Sometimes it would aggravate my skin, or just be something that I was kind of aware of on my skin, and I did not love that. And then also there's like the smell of makeup, which can be kind of overwhelming. Sometimes it would get my nose running and just make me feel kind of icky. And then there was also that cognitive sensitivity where, like, I don't know how to really explain this succinctly, but basically when I would wear makeup, like especially after wearing like a full face or like more makeup than I would kind of normally wear, or if I was doing like my face paint and doing a lot of different makeup, I would feel kind of really out of it, either later in the day that I was wearing the makeup or the day after. And I don't know what it was that was causing that, but I did notice a pattern where I would feel just like more mentally bogged down and more out of it, kind of tired, like my eyes would kind of feel tired. I don't know what it is about the makeup, but I just notice when I'm feeling that, and it seems to be when I would be wearing makeup. I was gonna do this video with me like putting on makeup while doing this because I thought that would be kind of funny, because I'm like now kind of uncomfortable with putting on makeup. So I was like, oh, that would be kind of funny, and it would be kind of in line with like doing uncomfortable things. But it kind of failed because I can't talk and put on makeup very well. And also I did not have a lot of products left. I had kind of thrown out pretty much all of my makeup products. And so I was going to just like put it on and then wipe it off basically. But I did find that even after doing that, I felt kind of boggy and blah afterwards. So thanks for joining me as I shared that list. It's not by any means like an extensive list, and it's not to say that I may never wear makeup again. I think there's sometimes special occasions that it really works for. I'm just trying to figure out how I would make that work for me with my kind of barriers to it. I was thinking that like maybe it makes more sense for me to just pay for a makeup artist if I was going to wear makeup for some certain event or something. Like maybe I should just hire that service out, because I'm probably going to spend similar amounts of money to if I had bought all of the products myself or less. And then also there's like less waste associated with that, and you kind of have to say screw it to some of those other reasons for just that like 1 or 2 times that I'm doing that. But yeah, in general, I just don't think that I'm going to be buying any more makeup or trying to wear more makeup at this point. I hope that whatever your relationship is like with makeup and with your face, that you're finding something that works for you and feels healthy for you right now. We're so bombarded with so many messages in terms of how we should be, how we should look, and it can honestly be exhausting. But I can sometimes find it helps to just think about what our priorities are, what our values are, and what aligns with those, and what maybe really doesn't and is something that we do not need in our lives. And those things can shift, right? Like our values shift sometimes, our priorities shift sometimes, and that's okay. But I think it's good to sometimes just question why we do things, and just remind ourselves that at the end of the day, things like makeup are so insignificant. We have so much more that our faces can do than just be pretty, right? We are capable of showing so much expression with our face. We can see with our face, we can smell with our face, we can eat, we can kiss, we can do all sorts of things with these faces that have nothing to do with how they look. And your value as a person does not have anything to do with your face. But I would love to hear what your experiences are like with makeup, what kind of relationship you have with it now, if things have changed for you, and if there's something else that's not makeup related that you've kind of realized you don't need in your life anymore, and that really was not giving you enough value for what you were getting out of it, or for what you were putting into it. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you have anything you would like to add.